certainly proud of the fact that we have so many people here for our recognitions tonight. We would ask that since we do have so many, we'll give you an opportunity to leave if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting. So if you don't mind, please wait before you take off until all recognitions are done. And we'll get everybody up here and talk about all the great things they've accomplished. We'll start off with the approval of the work session agenda. Mr. Chairman, I need to slightly amend the agenda to include the Mountain Edge Center lease under operational effectiveness. So with that one addition, I would recommend a motion to approve the work session agenda at the beginning.
I have a motion to approve the agenda with amendment.
I'll make a motion.
Second. I'll vote for it. I'll vote for it.
Okay, this time we'll have Josh Moyers from First Baptist Church come up and do our invocation. Mr. Moyers.
You guys will pray with me. God, we thank you so much for allowing us to live in such a beautiful community. We thank you for this county and the teachers, the educators, the administrators, this board that is before us. We pray, Father, that you would continue to bless all the professional developments and leadership in this community. We pray and just thank you for the students, the amazing turnout that's here with their family as well. The celebration that will be taking place very soon. We pray for unity and among our community with the citizen input, with the other comments as well. Father, we just thank you that you are a God who loves us and cares for us, and we pray that we would continue to be loving and caring for others as well. And it's in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can be seated. Like I said, we've got a lot of wonderful things going on in the Gilmer County School District, and a lot of things to recognize. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Lonnie, who's going to come up and manage all of these recognitions.
And I think what we'll start with is Miss Patricia, if you'll come on up. I think she's going to recognize some of her staff.
Good evening. Thank you for having us tonight. And I have Ms. Daphne Heiss helping me tonight. First, before we even get started, I think I say this at least one time a month to you. I'm super blessed to be in this community and have the staff that I have working with me. I'm honored, and I couldn't have asked for a better staff. So just to let you know, and tonight I have the honors of recognizing our 5 schools on their excellent performance just all year long. Some fun facts that I just wanted to mention is all 5 schools have earned 100 on their health inspections, and it's required that they have 2 a year. So on both health inspections, they received 100, the perfect score. Out of my staff of 36, we're only required to have 2 employees per school to be serve safe, and we've got 23. And this is something that they just take upon themselves to do the classes and to take the tests, and those tests are very difficult. So that is amazing in itself. Also, through April of 2022, we've served over 313,558 breakfasts as of the end of April. Over 437,939 lunches, and over 39,059 after-school snacks. And I'm telling you, for 36 people, that's a lot of meals, and we're feeding a lot of precious customers. So I'm super proud and honored to present them with and Miss Linda Waters, I guess, started the Clean Sweep Award, and I'm glad that I can continue the tradition. So if I can have Mr. James Stanley from Clear Creek Elementary come receive his Clean Sweep Award. And Miss Sandra McClure with LJ Elementary and Pre-K. And then we have Miss Karen Pinson with Mountain View Elementary. And from the day to day, I'm telling you, it's a challenge, but I don't hear from them. They do what they need to do and they get the job done. Miss Jody Payne with Gilmer High. And then Becky Patterson with the middle school was unable to be here, so I've asked Miss Nicole Pike to receive this for our kitchen staff. Thank you, Nicole. Oh, bad angle.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'm going to call Coach Thurman up. He has some players he wants to recognize with you just baseball. Do you have any other coaching staff here?
It's my honor tonight to present that we had 4 guys off of our baseball team, our high school baseball team this year that got all region honors for Region 7 AAA. One young man's unable to attend tonight is Brent Copper, and he's a senior. And we have 2 other seniors. I'm going to go ahead and call them up. They did a great job for us. They're great leaders. They're also great students and have been a part of our program for quite some time. And the first one I'm going to call up, he's actually been all region in football and baseball now for 2 years in a row. But Seth Darwin, come on up, Seth. The next young man I'm going to call out played catcher for us this year, had him a sophomore year, and then the season got cut off short with COVID, but came back for a senior year and had an excellent season for us, and it's Blake Spobby. And the next young man, we're going to have him back for a couple of years, so we're real happy about that. But he received honorable mention for Region 7 AAA, played infield for us, pitched some for us, and it's Austin Zabala. Seth had got honorable mention, and Blake had actually got first team all region, so it's quite an honor. We have a really good region in baseball, and for these guys to get recognized, it means a lot.
I think it's awesome when you can have a coach to recognize in front of some of their players. And we are so excited to present Coach Pitts with a certificate recognizing him as our region soccer coach of the year. Congratulations. We will call up your players, and then Coach Nicholson will call up the girls soccer players, and then I want you to make sure you have your certificate when we take our picture.
Dr. Ridley, members of the board. Just thank you for the opportunity to come here tonight and recognise these young men. As many of you know that came to watch the games this year, the boys had an amazing season. Best season on record, Gilmer High School. Boys went 5-2 region, winning 5 games, losing 2. Finished in 3rd place in the region, in which the region is an incredibly difficult region for soccer with those all county teams in there. So it's a really amazing achievement for this group of young men. And we had a lot of seniors this year, 3 of whom we're going to recognise tonight and 1 freshman. So, first boy is Melvin. Melvin was 7th AAA first team all region. He played left wing for us, striker, scored a lot of goals this season. So Melvin, come on up please. Next young man we're going to recognise, and he's had a lot of awards throughout his high school career. He was the captain for our team not only this year but for the previous 2 years. Second highest goal scorer, most assists on the team, and led the team really well this season. This will go to Julian Withrow. Next on the list is another senior. This young man unfortunately broke his ankle second year of play, I believe. Wasn't able to play that year, missed a year, came back this year and played for us. Was really instrumental in the way that we played this year. Him and some other guys were able to swap positions in midfield and the defence, and really gave us that advantage in a lot of the games where we could swap players in and out in the style that we were trying to play this year. This all goes to Alex Lopez. Last but by no means least, this last award goes to someone who really stood up for us this year, came into a position that he was not really expecting to play, took control of that position, played really well for us, and especially when you consider that this young man is a freshman in a team that was full of seniors. Did a great job for us. I think he's got a really promising future in soccer. I'm sure that he's going to go on to college and play at the college level. Talon Curtis, this one's for you. No, I'll just put it down.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tracy Nicholson. I have 3 girls to recognize. 2 of them are here this evening. The first girl was recognized on region, second team all region. I've had the privilege of knowing this girl since she was about 8 years old, and it has been one of the truest delights of my life to watch her grow and develop, not only as a person, but as a player as well. She's a natural born leader. She is and has been the key to my entire defense for the last 4 years of playing. She stopped, I don't know how many goals, single-handedly without using her hands. Next year, she's a senior. Next year, she's going to go to UNG and major in nursing. Miss Kaden Smith. The next girl was allowed to use her hands. Miss Caitlin Henderson is honorable mention. She came in, I just saw her one day and I was like, hey, you look athletic, come play soccer. And she stepped up, she played goalie, she did an amazing job, and she earns every bit of that. Group bowling was also named to honorable mention region team, but she was unable to make it. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Where is Mr. Booth?
What is you're supposed to do there?
And you have any of your other, with you, this, we have 2 certificates, because I think we were gonna run out of certificates to recognize everyone. I want Mr. Bushy tell you about the outstanding performance of the CCMS and the GHS students that were named.
First of all, thank you, the Board of Education and administrators, for inviting us this evening. Of course, they wait for the last person up here to be the worst public speaker out of anybody. So we're going to announce the students that went to the state FFA convention and were recognized as a top 3 team or individual in the state this year. So we had a state winner in extemporaneous public speaking. We had 5, darn it all, state runner-ups in 5 competitions. But one good thing about those 5 teams, 4 of those teams were underclassmen. So they're coming back next year, hopefully, to get that state win in those competitions. So I don't know how you want to do this.
Bring them all up.
Okay.
Bring them
I'll
all
let
up.
Ms. Barrow talk about CCMS students.
For state convention, we had 1 team go to compete, and that was our conduct of chapter meetings team, and that was a team of 7, and none of them were able to make it tonight because of sports. But the team was Kinley Thompson, Madison Haw, Ava Smith, Riley Griggs, Emma Kate Bramlett, Sadie Johnson, and Owen Freeman. And those are all 6th and 7th graders who made it to 4th in the state. So, very proud of them.
I'm not going to name off all my students because I probably won't remember all their names.
I've got a list.
That was me pretty good. How about y'all?
Very impressive.
We'll start with the Parliamentary procedure team, consisted of Lucy Ray, Allie Heiss, Marley Boatwright, Libby Pike, Olivia Shull, Lily Thurman, There we go. Our conduct of chapter meeting team consists of Julie Bell Queen, Eliza Chastain, Caitlin Campbell, Grace Bramlett, Madison Chastain, and Blaine Bakes. Our senior nursery landscape team, Jasmine Raphael, Araceli Raphael, Colin Callahan, Ellie Callahan, and Claire Smith. Our day evaluation teams, junior team, Charles Norman. By the way, Charles Norman was the high individual in the state in that competition. Jack Keener, Cody Dillard, Cade Miller. Our senior dairy evaluation team was Nikki Perez, Nathan Hall, Ava Guerin, Eddie Gonzalez. And then our state winner in extemporaneous public speaking was Miss Tori Reed, and she will compete at the national competition next October, representing the state of Georgia. And our ag marketing plan team was Anna Martinez, Leslie Benitez, Kaylin Haddon, and then my niece, who is at the, what is that thing called? Powder Puff football practice, was the state star farmer North Region Finals. My niece Octavia Bush. Got all in ways. That's why I got these legs.
You don't want to get the picture with you?
No ma'am.
You sure? Okay, I'm gonna take a few pictures of them with parents. Is that everyone? Okay.
Who do you want me to get?
Just put it right in the middle. There you go. Okay.
I guess I'll get it here.
Ladies, do you want to get in?
Yes.
Miss Woodard?
Mr. Gabriel.
Where's Big Bush? Okay. Okay. Did any parents want to get any? Get it? Congratulations. Okay, and next we have Miss Patterson. She has an award she's going to say about.
Tonight I have the honor of recognizing our exemplary position learner. Annually, the Georgia Department of Education recognizes English learners who satisfy specific qualifications and guidelines, including student achievement, participation in extracurricular activities, and outstanding civics and conduct. Gilmer County Schools is pleased to recognize Michaela Bautista as the 2022 exemplary English learner. Allow me to say that in addition to Michaela earning the credit graduated, she has also completed her assessment and has been named a certified nursing
I think that's our recognition.
items are listed for board consideration at the regular session on May 16th. Subject to the wishes of the board, we can add or remove items from the consent agenda later as needed in preparation for that meeting. These consent items are the minutes from 4/11/22, work executive session, and 4/14/22 regular session. And then we have out of state and overnight field trips, which you can find in the folders. Under the superintendent's report, first area is, speaking plain, is academic achievement. So under academic achievement, I'll call Ms. Lottie Mitchell back up, tell us a little about the summer STEM camps that we're about to start up.
We are so excited to announce that we're going to do the summer STEM camp. Last year, we partnered with nutrition, and we worked 2 days a week at the Seamless Summer sites to provide some STEM activities. This year, we're providing more of a STEM camp atmosphere. So we are partnering, we have teachers, Gilmer County teachers are going to partner with GHS science teacher Mary Melissa May, and also some of the high school students that are in Beta, Honors, Math Honors Club are going to come and work, and we are going to go to 3 of the Seamless Summer sites. We're going to go to Tower Road, Mulberry Street Apartments, and we're going to go to Lakeside, which we're partnering with Sunlight Baptist Church because Lakeside does not have a good place for us to work with the kids. So Sunlight has graciously said they would open their church with a pavilion up to the students so we can work with them. So we have a week scheduled, and we're going to these sites. We're going to do a 4-day camp. There's going to be a literacy focus. They're going to do STEM activities, and we're going to do fun themes with the children. We have a theme day, superhero scientists, nature day, architect day, color day. Then, and also each of these sites is in at least one of the elementary school zones. So we have one for Mountain View, CCES, and EES to go to one of those Seamless Summer sites. Then the last week in June, we're going to have it at EES campus. We're going to open up to any students K-5, and we're going to work with them and provide. So we're doing the same camp 4 weeks in a row, but we're really excited about offering. It's free, it's to our students, and it's just providing, we're taking it to the kids at the Seamless Summer site, and then at EES, we're going to open it up to everyone. So we're really excited, and after it concludes, we want to bring the teachers that work with it, the ones that help plan, they'll come and share some pictures and give an update on how it went.
Do you all have any questions? This time we'll have Rob Mccarthy talk to us a little bit about blended learning and the Creators Academy.
For the past almost 2 years, coming up on it at the end of the school year, I've been in this position as the instructional technology specialist, and during this time we've spent a lot of time playing catch-up. COVID caused us to have to kind of jump into the instructional technology field with both feet, and a lot of students and teachers were not completely prepared. But around Christmas of this year, we began to transition from catching up with making sure all teachers were where they needed to be on technology to where we have begun innovating with our technology and actually going out and improving the curriculum. And tonight I have an example, what I feel is a really great one that was done at Clear Creek Middle School. The 6th grade science teachers out there did a unit on severe weather, and I got with them and we talked about that they wanted to bring it into the real world purpose for why we study weather, and of course part of that is storm prediction. And I thought that would be the most interesting way to show that, and so we came up with a scenario for the students to do that involved using the Chromebooks to simulate being weather meteorologists who are going to be tracking storms and warning people about the dangers.
The Houston City need your help. The storm cell is big and changing rapidly. I need students to track the weather data while I go out into the field to collect real-time information at the scene. To monitor the weather changes, we use a tool called a severe weather calculator. It divides Gilmer County into 4 quadrants and gives you the data about each section. Pay close attention to wind speed and moisture levels. If these levels begin to increase, we will have to place that section of the county under tornado warning. Also keep an eye on the wind direction. If it begins to change direction rapidly, that shows instability and a decreased chance for a tornado. And remember, the citizens of Gilmer County are counting on you to keep them safe. Good luck.
In each section of the activity, students will view a video that lets them use the weather tracker to monitor the data. At the end of the video, they will scroll down and they will select the correct response to move forward in the project. If a student selects an incorrect response, they are prompted to go back and review the video and try again. If they continue through with correct answers, they will see different scenarios throughout the day as the storm worsens and they move closer to a tornado. Students will continue to answer after each video. Each video gives prompts that help the student understand the data and make correct selections.
You just wind chief meteorologist, it's starting to look really bad all over the whole northern section of the county. Keep a close eye on the atmospheric conditions. We don't want anything negative to happen. We've already issued a tornado warning for the northeast area of the county. Keep a close eye on that portion of the county. Let me know if conditions start to worsen. Hopefully things won't develop into an actual tornado, but I'm beginning to get very worried about the northwest quadrant. The skies are extremely dark all over the whole area up here.
County experienced a tornado today. A Category 2 tornado touched down in the northeast portion of the county today. For more information, let's go to our reporter in the field, Sunny Daisy.
Thank you, Torrin. It was a very scary day out here. The weather got really bad. The storm was very severe. Initially, we experienced heavy rain, lightning, and thunder. Then the wind picked up and the hail started to fall. Just before the tornado touched down, the sky turned an eerie yellowish color. I've been told by officials that the tornado has done a great deal of property damage throughout the county, but rescue workers are reporting that there are no injuries or fatalities, thankfully. We would also like to thank the Gilmer Severe Weather Network for their early warning system. Thanks to that system, no one was hurt. Everyone had plenty of time to take cover. We also want to take a moment to say thank you to the student volunteers from Clear Creek Middle School for helping to monitor the atmospheric conditions. You all did a great job of protecting the residents of Gilmer County. This has been Sunny Days reporting live from the field. Now, back to the studios.
So that was the activity that the students did. As you can imagine, they were very engaged and hung on it throughout the entire time. The teacher said it kept them very occupied. And it gave them, well, not a completely realistic, but a good view of how studying the weather can help people and prevent disasters. It really helped them understand the purpose for what they were studying and kind of bring the whole unit together, because the rest of the unit was blended. They did worksheet pages, they did hands-on activities and different activities as part of this. And this was just one way to help them see the bigger picture and understand why they were having to understand different things, like the way that changes in temperature affect air pressure and why that matters. And so it really helps. So this is one example. We've got lots of things we've been doing all over the county, and we are pushing for more, which brings me to the next thing that we have here. Start the video. Oop. There we go. Thank you. Okay. This is a two-day event we're going to have on the June 2nd and 3rd. It's called the Creators Academy, and it is a professional development day at the end of the year. Those days are flex days on our calendar, so if a teacher has not already used their flex days, they will be able to use this as part of those. If they did already have their flex days and have completed their school year, then they are getting a professional development stipend, and they are coming in for these 2 days, and we're all going to be at the Professional Learning Center over at the Larry Walker Educational Center. And it is a day for the teachers to work and build technology products to go with their blended learning. So I'll do a little bit of training on the first day, very briefly, just kind of tell them what options are available to them and what tools are best to use for those strategies. And then after that, I'll just be there to help facilitate them as they work collaboratively to build. As you see, we have 30+ middle school and elementary teachers attending. A lot of those are from the same subject areas and grade levels, so they'll be working as a team to develop engaging activities that they will be able to take back to their classrooms next year.
Y'all got any questions? Done a lot of great work. Thank you, Rob. Okay. Next up under parent community engagement, we have single summer again, but Ms. Carter, is there anything under single summer that you want to add under parent community engagement? Because I know you're going to touch on it as part of your nutrition.
I'll just wait.
Okay, we'll just wait to get you up there. Next, we'll go over to high performing culture and workforce. Mr. Chairman, we'll discuss the personnel agenda, we'll discuss hiring recommendations and compensation later in executive session. Also, for your review is the FY23 state salary schedule. Update that based on the governor's FY23 budget, and include the $2,000 raise. And signed that into law last week. Blue Ridge, beautiful day. Then we have the FY23 activity and academic supplements. It's been previously provided for you. Only changed, none of the numbers have changed. The highlighted rows are those to support fine arts. These are some questions about how much they're spending in different categories, so I did separate that out for you so you can see. If y'all have no questions, we can move on. Finally, that's all I have. Next, we have operational effectiveness. I provided for you Legion Road fuel tanks and oil fuel removal approval. After collecting 2 previous bids, we had some concerns over the prices, so we contacted another company that would include a similar project in Dover County. Mr. Berry and I met with him to go over the specs and look at the sites, and this bid came in, it's more in line with what I know the other district paid, and I think all told came up with about nearly $100,000. You can see it was cheaper than what our previous bid was, so I'm glad we went ahead and did that out again. Do y'all have any questions about that? Next, you have the oil transmission fluid antifreeze bid approval. We conducted bid openings last week for oil transmission fluid antifreeze. Bids before you were winners. If you have any questions, we can discuss them at this time.
Since it was the first year, we had this badge built with that same one we had last year.
Which one?
I'm sorry, Propane.
Propane?
Yeah, not gas.
Is that who we had before?
Yeah, it is. I believe so.
Yes. Well said.
Was he good, were they pretty dependable and everything, Bob?
They did a really good job last year, and actually glad to get them back. They did a good job.
Okay.
Any other questions? A lot of information on that bid. I learned a lot during the process. These will be on the June. Under policies, these policies and current policies are part of our consistent revision process. They'll be posted on GCSS website for public review, comment for second reading at our work session next month. Subject to feedback and open deliberations need to be voted upon in regular session next month. First read policies are policy GPKA, professional personnel layoff, and policy GAMA, drug-free workplace. Our second read policies were posted on our district website since our work session last month and submitted to GSBA legal counsel for review. We have received no public feedback on these policies, but we did receive recommendations from GSB legal counsel to rescind policy FGAD, architect responsibilities and facilities projects, and for policy GCRH, classified personnel vacations, to remove the wording classified employees who are terminated will not receive payment for vacation credit. And these policies for second read are DFC federal funds, no changes to that. FGAD, architect responsibilities and facilities projects, and policy GCRH, classified personnel vacations. Any questions about the policies? Breakfast. Okay, and as we amended the agenda at the beginning, we would add the Mountain Ed Center lease for their part of the Larry Walker building. Terms of the lease are the same with the original copy they sent me, and when I provided to you, has the wrong dates on it. So I spoke with Charles Well, the superintendent today. He was out of the office. He's going to have somebody send me an amended lease with the right dates on it. But I want to put this before you so you can see the terms. The terms have not changed. It pays $15,000 quarterly, and I want to continue that lease for the FY23 school year. So if you have no questions, if he sends me the copy with the right dates on it, by Thursday, I will send it to you for approval. Next area, following our strategic plan, we have fiscal accountability. So now we'll bring up Ms. Spartanburg for the school nutrition report. Ms. Spartanburg.
We had a pretty good month for the month of March. Our revenues were over our expenditures by $218,049.46. So we had a real good month. And if you have any questions about that, I can answer those questions. But into my report, I can kind of give you, enlighten you on where I think we'll go next year and, where we're heading next year. So if you have any questions about the numbers? Okay. And let's go to Seamless Summer, if we can just touch on that. We're really excited. We were able to pick up another site this year. So instead of 7, we have 8 sites now. Oh, I did.
To the right, I'm sorry.
Okay. Instead of 7, we have 8 now. And we're hoping to reach more children by strategically placing these sites. We have the same sites. We added one where our Bobcat Cafe is going to be in the First Baptist Church parking lot behind the youth center. So we're really, really excited about that. We will be serving these meals June 6th through the July 22nd, with the exception of the July 4th week. That's right there on the week. So, and looking to next year, all indications lead toward that we will be operating National School Lunch and Provision to Breakfast. So free meals will be ending unless there are federal changes. And that's still, there's a lot of talk. We're not sure what's going to happen, but right now it looks like we're going to be going to free, reduced, and paid lunches next year. So the forms will be processed, and we're really encouraging to complete those forms. next year. And I'm sure, I don't know if you've heard of, what's going on, but U.S. Foods did not renew our food bid for groceries for school year 23. And then we didn't receive a food bid in April after we revised our original bid. We're not alone. Over a dozen North Georgia nutrition departments did not receive theirs either. Challenges we're hearing about distribution centers is fuel increases, transportation, shortage of labor. And, it's kind of hard because we do have to follow the federal and state regulations, so that kind of, we're strapped. We do have procurement helping us and, along the way, they're guiding us along the way, but we're just trying to figure out what's going on in the future. Currently, we have a bid out right now on the registry with Pickens and Gilmer. Pickens and Fannin, I'm sorry. So we have high hopes. We do have some talk. We have some distributors, asking questions, which is good. So we're hopeful for that. But no matter what, guys, we will feed our students. I have no doubt. I don't know what we're going to have to do, but I'm not worried. I'm not opposed to getting my boots on and getting my purse and going shopping. So we'll get food to the county. Does anybody have any questions?
This is a very, very complex issue. What she's basically saying is, we can't get anybody to sell us food, correct? Because it's more profitable and easier for them, considering their wages and labor and fuel costs to sell to restaurants than it is to us. This is a big deal. I've never experienced anything like this in my career, and it's something that, since it's between school districts and vendors, that the state and government officials are just now kind of getting their head. That you were supposed to meet with.
I met with Senator Warnock's office, a representative out of his office last week, and they were not aware. So when we reached out and talked to them about, gave them some ideas of what's going on, they immediately said, we want to meet with you. Fannin had a call today with some legislators, and then there's a Zoom call later this week. So we've got some attention. I just hope the urgency is just as such that we get some immediate attention. It's not the vendors as much as it's the distributors. And like Dr. Ridley said, it's more profitable for them to service the restaurants and the grocery stores as it is for them to service the schools. Even though we're excellent customers, we pay our bills on time, and we have a standing grocery list. I mean, it's.
But,
they're not
you walk in
making
for a
as
year at the same price, and that price can go up double, triple.
And we go up with prices, and
So,
we've had
when-
several price increases this year, and we just accept, it's either accept or don't get the groceries, so we've accepted. But it's the distributor that's kind of strapped. Like I said, the state and federal guidelines that we have to go by, and it's the distributors that's not able to regain their losses with the fuel, the shortage, whatever. When we went back and revised our bid, we felt like we were more than lenient to help compensate their losses, and it just wasn't. Although they reiterated, we are not trying to get out of the K-12 business, it just kind of makes you scratch your head, because with what our bid was, they still didn't even, the first time they didn't even turn their head to it. We're hopeful. We do have, like I said, we've had 2 food distributors, one that wants to get back into the K-12. We're hoping, you know, they've been asking questions and we'll see.
And this is a pretty consistent problem amongst a lot of rural districts in the state. And Cherokees, Cabs, and Cobbs, they're closer to those hubs, so they're not having to deal with this because deliveries are much easier. But even though we're Atlanta adjacent with 515 going, it's hard to get anybody to come.
And we used to use some local people. We used to hire food stand.
Food stand used to deliver, they have, each year, lettuce, lettuce, and all that.
They go to smaller farms.
And we are exploring all options.
We're getting very creative.
We've looked into some storage, you know, we kind of cleaned up some warehouse space, we're preparing to buy dry goods in more bulk than we normally do and keep them. Upgrading the alarms on the freezers, just making sure they all
Yes, sir.
work.
Making sure they all work. I've got some.
Because we're gonna be probably storing more food than we ever had, because we don't know when we're gonna get in a scary situation, really, because you can't get anybody to sell it to you.
And you know,
Difficult place to.
this year we've had the challenges of food shortages. And, you know, I just keep bragging on our partnership with US Foods. We were able to, although we've had to be creative and switch and be flexible, we've been able to provide a reimbursable school lunch. But like today, we got a message, I got an email, we were 11 shorts on product that we really needed. So, I mean, it's getting, I don't know if right now they're just trying to get rid of the K-12 items that we've been using because we know that, they know that we're not gonna be in partners with them later, or if it's just, but I mean, it's been all year. It's been 11, 15, 20 shorts, but like I said, we've always managed to figure out how to get the food, so,
And you're also gonna be dealing with some changes in the specs for the meal station, is that correct?
yes. Instead of, and I thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Ridley. Instead of staying like we were as 50% whole grain items and then they want us to tighten up because USDA is saying there's not a crisis out there. I don't know what they're thinking. But now they're thinking that we can abide by the 80% whole grain. And we're talking, school lunch is a specialty item. It's packed separately. It's a different product. It's a more strict product than what you can get in the grocery store. We've talked to Ingles and we've talked to the Walmarts and I've even got online and looked to see what the Costco's and the Sam's. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say I don't care what I have to do. You know, if it's morally right, I'm not there with you. I'll be the first one to knock on the door.
So
But my thing is-
Michelle Obama's walk around.
For the record, I didn't say that. But watch me when I go.
I mean,
But I'm just-
do they understand that Ukraine is one of the biggest
Yes, sir.
distributors of
That's good.
wheat and stuff?
Yes,
And
sir.
so are rotting in the fields of Russia.
Yes, sir.
And these other people are going to be starving to death. And we're going to send all our food over there, and it's like the baby formula, and we're going to set that at the border, but we ain't going to feed our, we ain't going to put in the grocery stores for our kids. So this is your government at work, people.
For us, this is an all hands on deck problem.
Yeah.
And it's something we're having to address. Everybody's really been in on this. Lindy's been trying to work with some of our vendors to get them we can purchase from them. Diane and Sam have been having conversations about storage areas and potentially buying a truck to get our own stuff here.
Yeah.
We're having those kind of conversations. Do we need I've never been asked, do we need a refrigerated truck? You know, working at a school. And we might need one.
That was a suggestion is even if we can work with the US Foods to just bring, I mean, I've got entitlement money. This product has to come to a warehouse. if we could just find somewhere to put our products, how feasible is it to get a truck, one of our trucks, a distributor, to go pick it up and bring it? And, I mean, Fannin and we've called ourselves MAG 515 because we feel like, you know, us being on 515, maybe together we can come up with something and we could all, you know, live with it. I mean, right now we'll live with whatever we can, but, you know, I mean, we just,
But until this is, I'm gonna call it a crisis, but until this crisis is resolved, you know, nothing's off the table. These kids have to do. That's we're looking at everything we can to address the issue. So, any of you in the audience, I would encourage you to contact the legislators and one of those that are concerned about school lunches and helping school districts buy food. A lot of folks out there don't know about this.
and I'm still praying hard that, the school lunches will be free next year. I mean, with the crisis this county's going through, it's a scary time, and I'm just hoping that we have some relief for the American family. And there are some states that have already stepped forward and said, we're paying for them. We're paying for the kids, even though USDA, even though the feds, I mean, the federal is not gonna do this, we will do this for our children. That's not happening with the state of Georgia yet.
Yeah.
Yes, so,
So the other states, is this nationwide?
yes, sir.
thing?
Well, yes, yes and no. Like South Georgia has their crisis, they have a distribution center, but they have other, like milk shortage is huge in South Georgia. The free lunches, the paid lunches, that is nationwide, yes, sir. But like I said, some states are coming in and saying, no, you know, we can't, this is a state of an emergency, we're gonna pick up that charge. So I'm still hoping, you know, and you know, with us, last week, our meeting was excellent. I felt so good about it. Maybe we've got the right people in the right places and they heard us, and, you know. And we have the Dr. Ridleys and the Dr. Watneys and behind us, and, you know, that speaks volume. So, hopefully. Thank you. It's all right.
All right. This time we'll have a budget update from Mr. Frank Taylor.
Good evening. We have our financial report for March, or that's 9 months, 75% of the year complete. Our total revenues for the period are $35,990,000. That's 90% of our budget. Tax revenues, $19,618,000, and that's 105.88% of our budget. We have total expenditures for the period, $30,236,000, and that's 75.55%. Leaves us with an excess of revenues over expenditures at the end of March of $5,754,000, and a fund balance of $26,853,000. So this is, next month in June, we will do an approved amended budget. We'll have that for y'all to look over. Right now, we're still signing off on budgets every day. The state, the federal budgets, they're still coming in for the current year. So the next meeting, we'll have that as best we can to get everything in order and finalize our FY23 budget.
How that?
Well, as you can see right now, our total revenues for taxes is almost 106%. And most of that is because, of course, property tax is a little of it, but our transfer tax, our title ad valorem, those are coming in at, 200% of budget. So it's been a very good year for the real estate market and all of that, so that has increased.
Timber gone up too?
I don't know specific, we did get some for that, and it is a little more, but that's still, very minimal. And
It is taxed as part of our ad valorem in a tax digest, the timber is.
So in, like in the county now, on these houses that are selling in this county, people get it, they're selling for more than what the, way more than what the price for. So does that make their taxes go up on, does that put it on the digest for more money? Or
We reassess next time.
Well, they will value that, then it will be reassessed, like Michael says, and some of those will be reassessed at lower than what they paid, while, you know, some of the others will all go up. We have to stay within that 40% of the, you know, the sales study, so they do that every year, the state does, so that's why they have to do the revaluation. We don't know, we don't have any information from the tax assessor so far to know what's happening this year.
Doesn't it take 3 to 5 years for it ever really hits? After 5 or 2 years or something like that?
You know, I'm not really sure, but they do revalue certain things. I don't know if it's like all commercial or all residential, but they revalue some things every year. But they have their specific guidelines that they go by on those. I know that, you know, it has increased quite a bit from the talk, but that's not official talk.
Right.
So we do expect the revenue, our expenditures, we're gonna be, you know, slightly over budget, so those will have to go up just because we planned on some things through CARES that we were not able to pay for. But other than that, it's looking like it's very minimal change on the expenditures, but our revenues are coming in a little higher. Any more questions? So we have our East Plus expenditures. Next, we have our 2015 expenditures for the month of $54,364. $46,000 was technology purchases, $5,000 was keyless entry, and we had $2,000 on cameras. Our 2020 East Plus expenditures, we had $23,194, and that was concrete at Clear Creek Elementary School. That was finishing up some of the pads and playground areas. Our revenue for our East Plus for the month of March was $662,308, and that was $102,869 more than last month, or 18% increase, and a $76,665 increase, or 13% more than the same period last year. That's still increasing there. That was for March. We received March collections at the end of April.
How much was that again?
It was $662,308. Yes. I skipped over the purchasing policy expenditures. I think they were the first things on the agenda. But these are all of our expenditures over $10,000. And as you'll see, the majority of these are still from federal grants, ESSER, title, and a couple from East Coast. Any questions on those?
For the year, does that put us right at close to $600,000?
For the average,
Yeah.
for this,
Taxes too.
for this year, for
So
20, so far for our 2020 East Los, we are averaging $598,670. So, and that is 18 months. So that we have collected under the 2020. Next, we have the principal activity accounts. So as you can see, the information from all the schools. We started with a beginning balance the year $475,051. We have receipts of $711,979 and expenditures of $633,420. Leaves the activity accounts with an ending balance at the end of March of $553,609.
transfers. They do transfers at the end of the year. They usually, from their general. Sometimes there are two different groups of accounts at the schools. There's some that are what we used to, they have like their fundraising and they are owned by the activity, like the basketball club, whatever. And then there's some that are just general, where their revenues, like their fundraising and various revenues go into the general fund. And usually, I guess, gate receipts, and they will assign, they will budget those to the different activities, and then we do the transfers at the end of the year. So. And the last thing I have to report on is our clearance letter from the state of Georgia. They have finally finalized our audit. So we received our clearance letter, and it says the financial review section of the Georgia Department of Education has the responsibility to follow up and close audits. And it said it has been determined after review that our audit, there were no findings or questioned costs, and this completes our audit resolution process. So our file is closed. So we did.
Congratulations.
And it extended, you know, this was the longest, we're usually finished by March 31st, and it just sat there waiting, and there's a little backlog in the state. So always nervous with our continuing disclosure for our bondings. We were cutting it pretty close this year.
And Lee, you were telling me this morning that a lot of districts, most of your colleagues are getting findings based
Yes.
on some of these ESSER funds.
Yes, sir. You know, one group does something one way, as far as like the audit department, if somebody has a private audit, they're not getting the findings that they are from the state of Georgia Department of Audit. So there was a lot of, I guess, concern at the conference I went to a week or so ago, and, you know, it looked, we're very worried about a few things because you've done everything you can. They have board approval, they have superintendent approval sign-offs, and they say, well, you need every employee that received 17 cents an hour as their temporary retention supplement to make them up to $12 to sign off for every penny they got every time they got it. Well, you know, that is probably not going to be able to happen. So we're hoping that they realize they need to use a little common sense on these audit guidelines.
Well, I don't think a lot of people in the general public understand the trouble and work that you and your staff, maybe the federal program will go through to make count things correctly.
Yes.
No small thing.
And the little things, you know, it's one thing to manage the bigger things and the budgeting and the plans, but when it comes down to, you know, board approval and everybody to get, you know, 1,500 signatures a month. So we did receive the certificate of excellence again, so they'll be mailing that to us.
And I have the full report on my desk. Mail, if you would like to read it.
I think you may have gotten an email copy, so they probably have already read it.
Sure have.
Thank you.
If y'all have any questions, Ms. Penland, that's very thorough. Okay. Thank you. I have no announcements other than this Red Bobcat, so we'll move on to the participation. According to policy BCBI-R1, as final agenda item of board work sessions, it will be the intent of the board to allow input solely on agenda items from those in attendance. All presentations to the board are to be brief and intended for the board to hear comments or concerns without taking action. All other time limits and topic restrictions remain in effect. Is there anyone here for public participation? Mr. Chairman, I recommend that the board recess into executive session to discuss personnel, litigation, and real estate. No action will be taken following executive session. Don't go to executive session.
Is it nice to make, we'll just talk about that here?
It's up to you, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion to go to executive session. I'll make it. Second. Vote for. 4-1 against.